Okay, folks, the website is beggingforbillionaires.com. My website's infowars.com. Don't forget our films, Endgame, Terror Storm, Road to Tyranny, Truth Rising, the new one, The Obama Deception, showing what a fraud this guy is. Richard Gage is coming up for 30 minutes with all big developments there on the fact that all these physicists and engineers are coming out. Peer-reviewed journals saying 9/11 was clearly an inside job with the towers blown to kingdom come by whoever did it. I guess the cave dwellers did it. So that is coming up. And I'll get into Glenn Beck coming out with the MIAC report, the DHS report saying, yes, militias, gun owners, they do work with Al-Qaeda. They need to all basically be arrested. That's your patriot. That's your, I mean, this guy is such a snake. But listen, I want to have you back. How do folks go to the New Braunfels Texas Dance Film Festival? It's
right up there on our website. They can click on and get the information right on our website there on the bottom. Mm-hmm. They could click on and buy tickets, and it gives the address and everything of where the theater is.
Good. When can we get this on DVD? How long till there's a DVD release? Because I'd like to carry the film.
About a year and a half, probably.
Yeah, I mean, the regular film process, for those that don't know, that say, put it in theaters, Alex, with my stuff, you have to go through this circuitous route of getting all these awards, then sell it, get it in art houses, the small theaters, maybe get big ones, but then if you get a hit, it's a hit. I think this film should end up being as big as Enron, Smartest Guys in the Room, or something like that.
That's what happened with Russo, with fascism. What was it?
America, Freedom of Fascism. Yeah, we carry that.
It went into the theaters for a little bit, and then it just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, my experience is, I mean, look at Terminator Salvation. Big company, $200 million budget, it's a flop. I mean, even big, huge companies, most of their stuff's a failure. I mean, take Scanner Darkly. Now, it made its $9 million budget back and then some, but still wasn't a big success. I think total it's made like $30 million or something. And the stars basically work for free. Keanu Reeves and all that, they'd usually get $20 million more than the budget to be in something like Scanner Darkly. But that was a love affair film they made. So, but side issue. I think I was paid $600 to be in that film.
Oh, you were?
And I offered to do it for free. Yeah. And Rick Linklater said, no, you got to.
But I just want to let
Taft-Hartley into this film. You have to be in it.
Just to let audiences know that the reason why I made this film, and I think it's important, is after Kilo, the media is basically part of the problem with the corruption. I just had a thing with Clay Chastain where I went after a media guy for the Kansas City Star. Kansas City Star is probably one of the biggest forms of corruption in Kansas City because they basically are in the pockets of developers and the downtown council, the Chamber of Commerce, and any activist who...
We've had security guards on the side of the sidewalk in Kansas City tell my cameraman they're not allowed to be on the sidewalk. I mean, it's like they're God.
Yeah. Well, actually, that happened in downtown. When we're making this film, I went in the Power and Light District, which is downtown where they took out Penner's building, right actually across from Penner building, and security guards told me that I could not film on this property. Not only that their buildings, you're going to love this, were copyrighted, and I could not film the buildings.
Oh, I know. In New York City, the cops walk out and go, you got to have permission to film this building. I go, First Amendment. All right, take him to the department. What do you think, this is a free country, punk? We run things now. I mean, literally, it's And I've had Austin cops come up and tell me that we can't protest or can't have video cameras. And I go, look, I'm going to have to sue you personally if you take me to jail. And I go, you'll beat the rap, but you won't beat the ride. And they back off. But the fact is, how do they get cops to think we are slaves?
I think it's a mentality that of their training, and I think one of the things I've always said when I see cop beatings and all this stuff, that the cops need to go back to school and be taught a whole course on First Amendment rights. They should actually have a First Amendment.
But the system doesn't want them to know.
No, you're absolutely right.
You know what? Let's do a few more minutes, then Richard Gage is going to come up at the gate after, because I want to talk about a few of the other stories, a jam-packed film, and we are talking to the director and executive producer, Philip Klein, Begging for Billionaires, the attack on property rights, and get the Obama deception too. If you don't have a First Amendment, you have nothing. If you don't have property rights, you have nothing. If you don't have a Second Amendment, you have nothing. The entire 10 amendments, the Bill of Rights, the core, are under attack. Philip Klein, award-winning filmmaker of the new film, Begging for Billionaires, the attack on private property rights. You told me about something I'd actually read about, but you were just confirming with more details. All over the country, they've built FEMA and FBI and Northcom command bunkers, and they don't tell the public. Kind of like they expanded the underground bunker at the Naval Observatory next door to the White House, and we told people 5 years ago, and it's finally declassified 2 weeks ago. You were telling me about in Kansas City, it's only a 2-story FBI building. Let's pull up the new Kansas City FBI building for folks on screen. But underground, it's 20 stories with hookups to other buildings, to railway. Bergstrom Airport has used to be a SAC base. It has underground railways as well.
Wow.
But anyway, side issue. This is the shadow government. Tell folks about what you know about that.
Let me go back my first experience with the FBI. I tell people, do not go to the FBI. When I was fighting this redevelopment project the first time around, under Stan Durwood, called the Power and Light District, which originally it was the Silo project, but then after it was put in, Mayor Kay Walder Barnes decided, in memory of Stan Durwood, who ran AMC Theaters, going to call it the Power and Light District. Well, I went to them, met with this woman FBI agent, and the first thing she says to me, you have to promise me that you don't videotape me. I mean, you don't auto-tape me, and I won't auto-tape you. Well, the next meeting, she brought a SAC in, which I knew was a recorder. The next thing I knew was they had FBI agents interviewing me, and then she brought in a profiler. Now,
got to tell you you're bad and you're dangerous.
No, it was just sitting there. It was just sitting there listening to me, this profiler. And
like something's wrong with you for complaining.
For squealing, and I kept calling the profiler her partner, and she was getting very, very angry because I was calling her partner for some strange reason, because she worked with her as a partner.
You're supposed to call it your partner.
Yeah. That's what they do in law enforcement. And, the FBI...
Well, they decide to take offense at everything. That's part of the...
Well, the funny thing...
Part of them psychologically and the psychopathic mindset to.
But the funny story is what I did to her. It was right after Clinton was involved with, remember the gun running that they found all those Chinese weapons?
Yeah.
On the docks in California.
7,000 AK-47s and heroin.
And just a month after that, the INS started raiding Chinese restaurants, and they found huge amount of illegal aliens.
We're almost out of time. Tell us about the FBI building.
Okay, let me tell you about the FBI building real quick. It's not only 7 stories down to the West Bottoms where the railroad tracks is. I think there's a hidden entrance down underneath. But it goes to MARC, Mid-America Regional Council, and a couple other buildings. It's all a big rock cliff. So they dug all this out of pure rock, granite, Missouri rock, to build this big underground complex. We're still trying to investigate, a bunch of us, to find out what's going on with this.
FEMA admits they're bunkering in to fight the American people. Northcom and the Army Times has announced the new main military mission is to fight the American people.
Well, we do. How I know it from 2 people was confirmed by 2 people. One of them, who was one of the guys who actually dug out the rock, who was involved in digging out the rock with machines, confirmed that goes down 20 stories down. And I'm going, why would the FBI need a 20-story operation?
Because they're about to take everything we got, and they know we're going to resist.
And that's Union Station. That's not the FBI building.
Yeah, no, I was telling the guys, look for it. They're just clicking around trying to find it.
But it's... I don't think I don't think you're going to find it on the web, because I don't think the FBI want their building to be. It's up in a corner where you can't get to it.
You got to Google new FBI building, Kansas City. That's how you get it. All right, listen, it was great having you here with the film. We look forward to seeing it. Begging for Billionaires. Thank you.
Everybody comes and